Story time with Game Master Mike. Hey folks, are you ready for another story? This time is going to be Sonic Chronicles stories. Now, this game has gotten me back into Sonic the Hedgehog for good because I love the story. I remember in the summer of 2008, I watched a trailer and I've read in Nintendo Power that they are making a Sonic RPG, and it looked phenomenal. So I had to purchase this game, and I love it. Sadly, they're not going to make any more Sonic RPGs because, you know, BioWare also makes this too, and they got bought out. So here is the story. So, in 2008, I graduated from high school, and I had an old Dell computer in my room in my old house, and I watched some YouTube videos of some old Sonic the Hedgehog games, mostly Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and I've decided to download some emulators on my old computer, although they did buffer of old Sonic the Hedgehog games for the Sega Genesis. Because back in the time, I only had a Wii and a PS2 because I've sold all my old consoles and games back then, because to get money for the most recent games, I went to GameStop to sell it, by the way. So, then I watched a trailer revealing the Sonic RPG is going to be called Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. So I had to pick it up, and I've fallen in love with it. Now, I only lasted 1 year in college. I remember bringing my DS with me during my breaks of classes, and I played this game throughout college. I remember walking to the comic book store to purchase some Sonic the Hedgehog comics. You know, they had a shit ton of Sonic X comics, which I am not a fan of because, you know, it's done by 4 kids and they've completely ruined it. So here is what happened. That one day during the fall, I was so obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog, they did not have any except for the Sonic X. So I asked the comic book guy, telling him, "Yo, comic book guy, do you happen to have any Sonic the Hedgehog comics?" And then he snapped at me like a snapping turtle. He's like, "No, we do not. They're Sonic X." And I pretty much threw up on the inside. I had no choice but to buy a few Sonic X comics because I had a obsession with Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, here you go. And, you know, when I left, I hold grudges. I remember going back and forth to the comic book store to see if they have any Sonic the Hedgehog comics. Well, they do not, except for that damn Sonic X, which I threw up on the inside. And some of them put me to sleep when I read it. Like, okay, so what the hell was that about? So I did not do good in college. I ended up dropping out because it wasn't my type. It was pretty hard for me, but you know, someday I may return. I'm not sure about that, but you know, the tuition is high and everything. So you know, I had some issues during my college years. Remember, I bought a 1991 Dodge Spirit. Remember, I drove a half hour with my dad and to pick up the car, and it only lasted a couple of months right as soon as I bought it because it blew a head gasket because the last owner did not change the oil. He did not even bother it, so it blew up. So my mom and dad gave me the Buick Century. It was an old 89 Buick Century, which was my mom's car. Well, a week later, somebody wrecked into it near the parking lot of my college, and it was a mother with her young child. And I was panicking like crazy. Okay, this is my first major wreck, and I was pretty much in shock. So the woman that rammed into my mom's car was pretty much texting on her cell phone, and she was driving on a suspended license. Well, they extended her suspension on her license, apparently, and I was pretty much, family was fighting over going where, like car issues and everything here. Had a shit job. I remember working on my very first job, which was at Cracker Barrel in my hometown and in my home state. I came close to quitting and walking out of my first job because of it. Well, remember, I was putting in my applications for Kmart, and I got the job as a car attendant there. So that was my issues here. So when I worked at Kmart, I became a huge Sonic fan. I remember playing the claw machine, and I was able to get Shadow the Hedgehog plushie there. And I remember, I did not know, I've ordered some bootleg Sonic plushies on eBay, which the fabric was very cheap and everything. So that was my stories about Sonic Chronicles, of how it had gotten me into Sonic the Hedgehog for good. And to this day, I love collecting for Sonic the Hedgehog. I got quite a bit of games there. Cannot wait until the most recent ones come out, because I'm going to purchase it real soon. So this is pretty good. It had gotten me through college and family issues that I've had, and the problems was resolved by just me thinking about Sonic the Hedgehog. And Sonic Chronicles, of how good this game is. Sadly, BioWare got bought out, so they're not making any more RPG-style Sonic. Well, there's Sonic Frontiers, which is exactly like a good RPG of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is phenomenal. Sonic Frontiers was probably one of the best 3D Sonic games out there. I really do enjoy this a lot. Well, folks, there you have it. That is my story of Sonic Chronicles. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and until next time, folks, thanks for watching.